Down in Oklahoma, there's a place called Henrietta. They don't allow no dancing in that town. So if you want to mix the sexes, then you better go to Texas, or you'll be in the city jail when the sun goes down.
Good morning, Green Country. Thanks for joining us on 97.1, The Sports Animal, the Bronco Brad Show, live from Henrietta, America. Love for the crossroads, the center of the universe. I got DG, David Garrett, with me again. Thanks for coming in, David. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Before we get started, I got to introduce my fine folks from Henrietta. I'd like to introduce to the world a 16-time world champion, bronc rider, bull rider, all-around cowboy, the great Jim Shoulders. And somebody you're familiar with, a 3-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer. He's got his own 8 beer out there. I think he's still selling. I see him peddling. He had some commercials on the World Cup. I saw that. And, of course, I'm talking about the great Troy Aikman. And last but not least, one of the greatest actresses of all time. She played in movies that won Oscars. She won a Tony. She was in great TV shows like Designing Women and Bewitched. Yes, Miss Alice Ghostley. So, David, back with us. And let me tell you, yesterday I talked to someone we both know, and all of you probably know because he does. You hear him on the radio. He'll fill in for some people. He's the program director of this fine radio show. I'm Mr. Kevin Ward, and he said, "Where did you find David Garrett?" Because let me tell you, that was a good find. That guy's awesome. So I know we had talked that you, and we didn't get into it, that you and him had a relationship, but man, I think he's more pumped on you than you thought. But yeah, you guys used to work together, and he was telling me, I guess the Saints came before the Cowboys.
Saints came before the Cowboys, 92-3.
So he told me that you had been called up to do the OU basketball games about 90. He was thinking, and then you got the Saints job. You didn't. I guess for some reason you didn't like to do that, and you got the Saints job. But you can go into that.
Don't mind going into anything.
And did you do football too?
You mean for Oklahoma?
No, it might have been the Saints. And did you have you need a statistician one day, and then Kevin had to, he said, "Hey, come on, Kevin, you need to do some stats for me." And
that was probably a basketball game. But really my break was when Bob Berry Sr. had a heart attack in 1985. And as a 25-year-old, I was the engineer of Oklahoma State's network, and Bob and I were friends. And
he was doing OSU in 85.
Yeah, OSU. And he got me, he had a heart attack, and 3 weeks before season began, and I got to sub for him. And 7 games that 1985 season, and that was my break.
Yeah.
Kevin actually offered me a job once upon a time, and I didn't get the job because I asked for too much money.
Yeah, that's how that thing works. That's why I get jobs all the time. I ask for no money hardly. So that's
gotta take care of yourself.
Gotta take care of yourself. Yeah. So yeah, Kevin's a good dude, and he thinks the world of you. Actually, I was not expecting that, but
neither was I.
He's like, man, David Garrett. Wow. So yeah, awesome. You've done a lot of great stuff. Sports world. I don't know if you're keeping up because you got a lot of stuff going on, but about a month or so ago, I'm sitting here on the show and saying Omaha, because guess what? OU's not even going to get in. This is crazy. Hello. Yeah. I'm leaving here in, I don't know, I'm going to leave here about 7 hours. I'm going to take a 7-hour trip. Omaha! And I'm going up there.
You should.
Unless the window on the weather, it's saying 70% chance today. If that closes down, gets to around 30%. Yeah, it's crazy.
Nothing like it.
Of course, I tell you guys all the time, if you go, I go. And I'm going. You got there, and what a remarkable just turnaround. I mean, they sucked, folks. They sucked. There's nothing. They lost their last 4 SEC games. And we were in here, and we were, when they were around the Tennessee series, talking about, hey, they really need to win this series because they're teetering on the They need to get in that top 4 seed so they get a double bye, and then they dropped out. They dropped out from they were 11th seed in the SEC tournament, and then they got their ass smacked by LSU, who's not a good baseball team, the first day of the SEC tournament, out. And I'm thinking, they're not getting in.
Yeah.
They got in into a regional in Atlanta playing the number 2 seed. And when UCLA got bounced, they are the odds-on favorite to win the College World Series. They just took that. They go to the Supers. They smack Kansas around. And, they're just 3-0 right now. Playing in the hard draw, the west side of this draw is the hardest. 4 SEC teams, 3-0. Alabama, Texas, Georgia. And by the way, once Georgia Tech got bounced, everybody was saying Georgia's going to win it. Guess what? No, they got crushed by them Sooners. I've never seen a team suck so bad and just flip the switch and get so hot. These guys are hitting it. They're pitching. Skip. Everybody was calling for Skip to get fired. I don't know that I didn't say a couple of bad things about you, Skip. What are you thinking? And here we are. And he pitches 3 true freshmen. And he's spanking everybody. And guess what? We got to win 2 games. And we're world we're the College World Series champions.
Baseball's a funny sport. And usually
awesome
you can ride on the back of one pitcher, and he'll come back around if you stay alive in the tournament and throw you a couple of wins. Well, Oklahoma's freshmen have just, they're the one pitcher, but they're more than one pitcher.
Yeah, and they're throwing it,
and they have no pressure on them. They're Phoenix rising out of the ashes, and they're playing that way. And don't pinch them.
Georgia, by far, it's not even close, had the best offensive team in college baseball. And these freshmen shut them down.
Pitching, brother.
I can't. I'm in awe. So yeah, I'm making that trip. Got to go up there. It's crazy. So
you got to go, man.
I got to get up early and down some Jello shots. So I'm getting prepared for that. Getting a little. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Have you ever been to Omaha?
3 times.
Isn't
all
it
with
crazy?
Oklahoma State.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's of course they built that stadium just to play the games there, and that I'm glad that whatever corporate America did not pull the College World Series out of Omaha, Nebraska. That's where it needs to be, even with the weather.
Yeah,
it's just in the perfect place, and it's supported so well. And Oklahoma got hot, and this is what happens in postseason. Seeding might be off, or your pitcher might get hot, or your catcher who had to hit a home run in 30-something games belts one to deep center. Those things happen in postseason, and magically you're on the doorstep of another big title.
Yeah, it's and hey, if you can get out there, if Skip's calling for it, Toby called for it on the broadcast, and I'm telling you, it's a fact. When we went last time, 22, and it was, so it's 7 hours from Oklahoma to drive, 7.5 from Henrietta, American, to get up there. And it was, and it's about double that, maybe a little more than double, 16, 17 hours to get from Ole Miss to there. And North Carolina, as you can tell, is going to be a lot farther than here as well to Omaha. So they're going to have to travel. But when we got up there, it was like 50-1 Ole Miss. And it looked it. It sounded it. It was a home field advantage for Ole Miss. And that year, Ole Miss sucked and just turned it on too. So I'm not going to jinx us because I want to go out here and I'm just going to say, already we're national champs, call it, and I'm just ready to jump up and down. But I'm not going to do that. But I am excited. I am so excited. This is my sport. I'm pumped. I'm ready to go. So, yeah. So you went when Oklahoma State. I guess were you calling football and baseball?
Well, I called football in 1985, but I was on OSU's baseball games from 79ish till 85 with Bill Platt and Rex Holt. And Rex Holt calls Oklahoma State games now, Hall of Famer.
A lot of people ask what Omaha means.
Omaha's a cool town. Well, it is during that time. Anyway,
go across the river.
Casino.
Bet on Red 20,
Yeah.
Red 23 if you want.
Yeah, what is that town? Cedar or something? Or
I don't remember.
It's something.
It's been so long since I've been up
right
there.
over there in Iowa. Yeah. Yeah.
Council Bluff.
Council Bluff. That's right.
You're going to go up 49 and cut over, or going to go up 75 or up 77, or what are you going to do?
Yeah. I'll go. I'll go.
Wait, you're doing the interview, not me.
Oh yeah. No,
Sorry.
Feel free. That's what you do. You're the pro. So yeah, I'll go. Well, I don't know. I don't know this time because I don't. I wanted to go up to Kansas City and I stayed at Harris Casino last time. Not that I'm
Been
a gambling
there,
man, but I'll sit down. I'll do it. So, anyways, I didn't get a lot of sleep. I'm not excited about the lack of sleep, but I think I got it figured out this time. So,
Are you a card player? You roll dice? You know how to play roulette?
Roulette.
What's your deal? Oh,
Roulette.
I love roulette.
yeah, roulette. I play it.
Love it.
I think I got a strategy, but as you can see, it hadn't worked out that great. I'm not a big player. I don't throw out thousands and thousands of dollars, but I just sit there long enough to where they generally give me a free room.
Those were the days.
Hang out. Yeah.
I sobered up, and in my sobriety, I've gone to Las Vegas and with the intention of spending a whole lot of money and having a great time. And I won some, and it wasn't any fun because there wasn't that jubilation when you hit your number or when the cards turned or all that. And so while I still like it and would still like going and still will go to casinos, it's just not as fun when you're living a different lifestyle. Nothing against those who like alcohol or whatever, but it just wasn't. It was a different ball game for me when I went last, and I went in 22 or 23.
So is it, how long you been sober now?
4 years.
4 years.
4 years, 6 months. I got my last drink was January of 2022.
All my rider friends have settled down, folks. But so, is it hard when you have to come in and do a show early in the morning and a guy's doing breakfast toast over here?
Well, not sober it isn't, but I don't wake up sick anymore. Hangovers or dope sick, if that's what you want, whatever. I don't do that. So it's easy to get up in the morning. I would have no problem.
Nice. All right. Well, that's all. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. One day at a time, and it's God's will, not mine.
That's well said. And that's what we should say about the Sooners today. But let's win anyways. Let's just win.
And I think get on the big stage.
Okay. Oh, it's the big stage.
Oh, I
the
won't jinx
greatest
them.
show on dirt is what they call it. So I'm excited. That's a big field too. Last time we played, man, we should have won that second game. That first game got away from us, but that second game where I went, that's where they changed all the rules, and we were getting the bad calls on all those. Where runner interference, where the catcher can just beam you in the back of the head and you're running straight towards the bag and you interfered with that. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. We got one of those calls, which turned the whole thing around. We would have won that game, and then who knows what happens Monday night. So, and it was because of that. You've heard me on this show several times say that I hate Ole Miss. So if you're watching this and you're from Mississippi and you're an Ole Miss fan, I don't give a crap. I don't like you. I don't like hottie toddies. I don't like all that. So I'm sure this is going to get blown out of proportion, but go ahead and blow it up because I'm telling you the truth. Hottie toddy, blah, blah, blah. And then something happens and they just throw their beers on you. It's like, I don't know how much money you Ole Miss fans have to just be throwing $18 beers on people that you don't know. You know what I did?
What'd you do?
Well, as you probably know, I'm a baseball guy, and I've been known to dip a little tobacco. And I was spitting in my water cup. And when I got drowned with beer like the second or third time, I just threw that up in the stands and got all them Ole Miss fans pretty dirty.
Did you get challenged?
Yeah, no challenge. No challenge.
I may have not even known they were wet.
Oh, they knew. But they probably think it probably came from an Ole Miss fan.
Yeah,
the crazy thing about those guys, and it's new to SEC. So this is going to be, I think, a lot easier on us because ACC and North Carolina, I mean, they can't be crazy like SEC fans. Ole Miss, I think, is the craziest fan base out of the whole SEC. Yeah, I know Alabama's loud. I know LSU is crazy, and LSU sucks. I will never go to another Sugar Bowl if it's OU and LSU. That was crazy. Those guys are crazy. But Ole Miss is insane, and they have a sense of what people are doing. Where they would be on the other side, and Charles Schwab is a big field.
Yep.
You're sitting on this side. On the opposite side, some dude will stand up and say, "Are you ready?" There's no way they can even see it or hear them. But everybody gets up at the same time in unison and says, "Oh, hotty toddy, blah, 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 It's crazy. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, they're not in it, and power to them. That's a crazy bunch. I would have picked LSU, by the way. I lived down there for a couple of years, about killed me. But
for crazy fans?
For crazy fans.
Yeah, they're up there. But, yeah, that's insane.
Witnessed Ole Miss fans live.
You have?
I have not. Archie Manning was my color analyst when I was doing Saints games, and Peyton Manning at the time was 15 or 16 and started quarterback for high school team in New Orleans, and so I have a love for Archie and for that family, and so Ole Miss is kind of an afterthought. I haven't really gotten into it, but one of these days, one of the assignments that I'm on will take me into Oxford, and maybe I'll get to see for myself.
It's been bothering me. It's been bothering me, and I don't know how much you can divulge, but on the last show, I asked you about the Jimmy Johnson Barry Switzer. How did that come about? And you didn't really want to go into it because I thought, did Jimmy start that or did Jerry start that? And you told me Jimmy, and you just kind of fizzled out.
Softballed it, man.
You softballed it. You didn't want
nothing wrong with softball, but
no.
I threw you softballs, and I needed to throw fastballs.
I feel like maybe you didn't know this, but the odds on Jimmy Johnson listening to this show, Jerry Jones, he ain't listening.
They don't give a damn. They don't.
So you can let us have it. Tell us the goods. Tell us the truth.
Well, I had a problem in New Orleans, and I got fired 8 games into the 1993 season, and as chance or will or whatever had it, I landed in Dallas as a nighttime talk show host and sportscaster. And the radio station that I worked at had the Jimmy Johnson call-in show. Well, I have some technical knowledge. I know how to run the controls behind the scenes. And Mickey Spagnola, who still covers the Cowboys, was the host that night. And I was there with a couple of people. And the rule back then was if you produced the Jimmy Johnson show, you had to go to a liquor store and buy him a 6-pack of Heineken and put it on ice. He wanted Heineken on ice. Well, Irving is a dry county. It was then, or dry city, whatever it was.
Right,
so we'd drive back into Dallas and get his Heineken for him and come out to Valley Ranch. And, he drank a couple of them. Well, he was joking around during one of the commercial breaks and said, they had a rift going where Jerry did not think Jimmy appreciated Jerry's knowledge of the game, player personnel. There was this, they still have it. They kind of kissed and made up at the Hall of Fame.
I don't appreciate it either.
I'm not a big fan of it either. And I don't know how many Super Bowls they've won since Coach Switzer.
0.0.
Jimmy let go in a commercial break that night that he was going to rattle the cage a little bit, and it would come out pretty soon that I can't remember if it was Jacksonville. I think it was, but maybe Tampa, but 2 Florida teams were going to come after him. Well, I don't know what rule it breaks, but that's not allowed. That's tampering. And, I just kind of stuck that in my back pocket and they're butting heads, and Jerry's going to fire this guy. I remember Jimmy leaving the building with steam coming off the top of his head. But kind of the fight was over this little unappreciation or this little pettiness or whatever. It's gaming is what it is, and it happens all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just happened to witness him telling all of us that's what he was going to do. And really, that was kind of, in my opinion, the final straw. And Jerry goes over to give a toast to the coaches who were gathered around, and they kind of, I mean, this story's not private. They kind of told him to buzz off. And that really got him angry as well. Then he started saying, I'll have a new coach sooner than later. I thought, there's no way Barry Switzer's coming down here to coach. He'd been retired or whatever for 5 years. And look what happened.
I mean, can you imagine Barry Switzer coaching? Like, all these coaches are old school coaches are either getting out or they're finding it's tougher and tougher. And like Gundy, he got fired, man. But Saban, all these old school guys are getting out. Debo Sweeney, he's hurting.
The old men are being phased out.
But I'm got to tell you, Barry Switzer would thrive right now. He would kill it. He would win 10 in a row. Barry Switzer is by far the best recruiter I think that's ever walked on the face of the earth.
Wouldn't argue that.
If you put a couple of dollars in his back pocket, oh my God, I can't even imagine what OU would be like.
I bumped into Coach recently, and we fist bumped and said hello to each other, and he looks great. And I saw him on television the other night with Stoops and a few others in a suite. They're all up in Omaha supporting the Sooners. And, I didn't tell this story either, but I didn't get to Coach Switzer through Oklahoma University. And that's why I wasn't in that fraternity of the people that surrounded Switzer. Dean Blevins, John Blake was around back then, former Oklahoma quarterback Manny Bradley. I wasn't in that fraternity. I met Coach in a urinal at Gallagher Hall in Stillwater after I missed his post-game commentary. And I'm a 19-year-old kid in Jimmy Johnson's first year at Oklahoma State. I was assigned to go get the winning coach of Bedlam's a couple of comments. And I got stuck in the press box elevator after the game because I was Bob Berry's spotter, and I couldn't leave till the final gun. Well, it took 20 minutes to get down there. Well, they're already finished with press conference. Well, I'm petrified. So I'm a relentless guy, and I don't give up. I get down sometimes, but I'm coming back, buddy. So I was not going to take no for an answer. So I went into Gallagher Hall. The teams used to dress in the corner of Gallagher Hall. It was closest to Lewis Field back then, looking for Coach Switzer. I ran into Scott Hill, who I assistant coach at Oklahoma back then, and he said, well, he's around, but he's not going to talk to you. He's mad at us. We sucked in the second half. I think Oklahoma won 38-7, or they might have been up 30-7 at halftime. Anyway,
yeah.
I'm opening doors and looking around, and I couldn't find him. And then I hear tinkling in a restroom, and I push the door open. And there's Barry doing his business. And at 19 years old, Barry Switzer was a god in this state. And there wasn't a bigger person, more famous than anybody in the state at that time, or from the state or in the state. And so I'm standing there in amazement, and he's still doing his business. And he said, could I help you? And, oh, gosh, sorry, Coach. And so I pushed the door on open and came on into the restroom, and he kind of recoiled. No, it's not like that at all. I'm a student. I have an assignment. I missed your post game. Well, I've already talked to the media. I know. I missed it. I was stuck in the elevator. And even if I get you to say no comment, I just need 2 answers. Why are you late? And I told him I'm Bob Berry's spotter. And he interrupted me. And he used foul language. And you work for the effing rival, and you're down here after the game wanting me to talk to you about a game I'm not real pleased about. But he had that twinkle in his eye, and I thought, I'll be danged. He's going to give me and he did.
I am ready today. I'm finally getting around to do what I want to do, and I'll be glad to get rid of you guys where I can go do it and say I'm going to do 1 interview a day, and that's it, and let me go coach.
So in front of the urinal in the northwest corner of Gallagher Hall, his pants pulled up, of course, we did 4 or 5 questions. Well, I write him a letter, handwritten letter, thanking him for taking care of the naive kid. I didn't know what I was doing, and he was a professional, and he took care of business. And about 2 months later, I got a letter back from Barry.
He took care of business in the urinal.
I got a letter back from him saying, I've never gotten a letter like that. Thank you very much. I try my best to satisfy the media, but I get a bad name sometime. Well, fast forward to wrestling season, and I'm with the Cowboys as a sideline guy, if you will, and I see him sitting across Lloyd Noble. Well, after the game, I walked over to him to say, "Hi, I'm the kid. I know who you are. You wouldn't let me finish peeing." And he said, "Let me ask you something. Why are you going to school at Oklahoma State?" And see, I'm a big OU fan back then, but I'd be quiet, and it's about green at that point, or your career. It's not about red or orange. And I said, "Well, Oklahoma State has better broadcasting school. And we got a great journalism department here. You go to school here." And I said, "I don't want to be a journalist. I want to be a broadcaster." True story. Ask him if you'd like. He said, "What if I bought your books and paid your tuition? You find some place to live. You do some errands for me around the office." So he offered me a half scholarship. And on about the 10th row of the corner of Lloyd Noble, I turned him down. Because I had just been given 155 high school and American Legion baseball games to do, and I knew I needed that canvas to paint on, so I turned him down. But he remembered that. There are other stories as the story builds, but that's how I got in his wheelhouse. Nice. And then when he was writing his book, he would answer the phone and tell me, "You can't say anything to anybody." And I heard some amazing things. I kept my mouth shut. And so I won trust with him. And there's my story with him.
So let me ask this. So you said, ask me if I'd like. So I'm going to be in Omaha. I feel like him and Bob are going to be in Omaha. And like you said, they're going to be in the suite. How would I run into him, you think, and you know the stadium, when I'm in the $150 suite seats? And by the way, the $150 seats are the cheapest.
Yeah, that ain't lying.
How am I going to find him? How am I going to sneak up to that suite and catch him? I need to get there real early and check in.
I would say catch him at the hotel, find out where the team's staying. He's probably flying up on a private plane, and because Stoops is with him too.
I'm going to need to find that out. How am I going to
find out and report back to us?
I will. All right. Yeah, I'm going to get back with you. Holy crap, man. It goes so fast when I'm with David Garrett. This guy's got so much awesome information. And we got to go because I got to sell a couple of trucks because guess what?
I bought 3 from you.
I know. I got a couple of Mach-E's right out there. You got my wife's and yours. And by the way, I got one in stock right now. There's taking a ton off. You can come in. Employee pricing, folks, is going on right now. That's the A plan. That's if you work for Ford. That's paying what they pay, not what I pay, what they pay. They pay less than me. They get this special extra deal, and you get it right now. Plus all the incentives. Man, some of these F-150s are going to like 12, 13 grand off. And if you're a veteran, salute. I appreciate your service. I'm a veteran myself. And right now, Ford literally just came out today. Ford came out with, because the military discount is only if you're like in the military right now or you retired fully, right? Not the guy that went and fought 2 wars and was only in 12 years. You're fully retired or you're in right now. That's the military discount. No, they've extended to all veterans. And guess what else they did? Doubled it, because guess what? USA is 250 years old coming up right now. So employee pricing is only going on for a couple of weeks. And now, if you're a veteran, any veteran, I don't care if you serve 2 years, 12 years, 15, 20, you get $1,000 on top of that, plus all the incentives. Check out. And don't tell nobody. But if you click this little button on there, because guess what? The United States is 250. I'm going to give you another 250 off. So all the pricings are the same at all these Ford dealers. You get the employee pricing, except guess what? If you click that button, I'm going to give you another 250 because I love America and I love you. And I'm going to give you the 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty on all my new Love Fords. That's the love. Plus, you get a chance to get that car note paid off up to $50,000. You need to come in today. Come see me. I'm in a great mood because OU is about to win the Natty. I didn't say that. Rewind that. I'm not jinxing this. OU's playing for the Natty. Cross our fingers. Come see me today. I'm going to take care of you. David, man, always a pleasure. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for keeping me relevant.
Go to you are relevant, buddy. Always in my heart. Go to our website. That's Love Ford. iloveford.com. And as always, put a little gravel in your travel and come see me or go see me on that website. That's LUV, baby. Peace. LUV, baby.
Go to Henrietta, that old law is bound to get her, 'cause in Henrietta, damn plain loud. twisted